Good.
Can you start? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And now, today, I want to talk about do the economic benefits of UK membership of the European Union outweigh the drawbacks. This presentation will take about 12 minutes, and after, of course, you can ask some questions. Do you know who is this guy?
Yeah,
Cameron.
Prime Minister.
Yeah. At the beginning of 2017, David Cameron he promised the people to hold a referendum about European Union future. And in this presentation, I will tell you about is it good, is it beneficial or not to stay in or to go out from the European Union. But firstly, I want to tell you about some history of European Union and what is it. European Union is 28 members of states. It's European economical and political union all around the Europe, and 19 is in the Euro. And now I want to tell you some advantages of European Union for UK economics. Firstly, UK products become more competitive with European Union. It's tax-free, the same regulations, no dumpings and no quotas all around the European Union. It's access to the largest market in the world, 17 trillion of the dollars all around the Europe. And immigration labor market, it means that like all people who is from European Union here, from Italy, from Belgium.
I'm from Brazil, Congo and Belgium. So
Yeah, it means that you all can come to London to enjoy without visa.
yeah.
If you're from European Union, it's a big advantage as well. And here you can see that it's UK imports and exports. As we can see that 51% on both sides in its exports, 51% of all exports is going to European Union and 51% of all imports are coming from European Union. And the second largest part is North America, which is much smaller than European Union. And it shows that it's much better to stay in economics. Do you know where is it?
This is the Sky Lounge.
Yeah.
The Sky Lounge bar.
Yeah,
Canary Wharf?
yeah, it's Canary Wharf. As you know, that London becomes the financial center of whole Europe. Some massive investment banks or multinational companies is located in London. Some massive banks, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, Deutsche Bank, and all they pay taxes in the UK budget. And banks make a big warning to the UK government about the UK membership. Deutsche Bank, it's a German huge bank, it's make an important statement that if UK will leave the European Union, it's planning to move from London to Berlin, and it will cause UK economy as well. Some two more important banks like HSBC and Standard Chartered Bank, it's one of the biggest banks in the world. They make a big statement that if Cameron's government will leave from European Union, they will leave from London to Shanghai or to Singapore. And they will not pay any taxes in London. And you can see what these banks bring to UK economy. HSBC paid last year 1.5 billion taxes in the UK budget. It's a huge money. And Standard Chartered paid last year 500 million of pounds. And if UK will leave the European Union, they will not receive this money anymore. Do you know who is this man? Yeah. Now all people believe that European Union is a good thing. This is Lord Bamford, and he is boss of this company, JCB. It's a massive construction company which produces construction machinery, and he believes that the UK is not a good thing for UK anymore, and it's better to leave European Union and start to trade with some big countries like Russia, Africa, India or China, which grow much faster now than the rest of Europe. Do you know who is it? Yeah, who is it? Yeah, he's an ex-leader of the Labour Party, and Ed Miliband believes that common agricultural policy in UK is not correct because just 1.5% of all European Union GDP is come from agriculture, but they spend nearly 40% of all money on agriculture, and in his opinion it's not correct because UK don't receive any money, because all money goes to Belgium and France. This is Richard Branson. He's the boss of Virgin Group.
Yeah, Virgin. Yeah.
And he believes
Yes.
that UK make a wrong decision to leave European Union, and it's better to stay in because it will be outside of the biggest market in the world, and it will be much difficult for UK businessmen to compete from other businessmen in the rest of the world. And this man, do you know who is it? No? It's a George Osborne, it's a Chancellor of Exchequer in UK. It's like a Minister of Finance in France or Belgium. He believes that the UK must stay in the European Union, but change the conditions which they are staying to make it much profitable and better for UK. In my conclusion, I believe that the UK must stay in, and I agree with Richard Branson and George Osborne that the UK must stay in, but maybe change some conditions to make it more profitable for both sides, for UK and the European Union. And I'm not agree with Lord Bamford, who is the director of this construction company. I believe that the UK must stay in, it's much better for them. And now my reference list, where I take all my information from. This is 2 pages of my links. And thank you for listening, and of course, your opinion and some questions. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
Why this topic?
Yeah, because we are studying economics with Morgan, and I'm studying politics, and it's interesting topic, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to be a politician next time? Do you want to be?
Yeah, probably. I want to be, maybe in future, to be a politician. Who knows? Any other questions?
How do you think the European Union will do if Britain leaves? Will they just go on, or will there be a significant impact on that?
I believe that UK will not leave European Union. I think that Cameron's government just make a big warning to them, but they will not leave. As you can see from my presentation, that it's not profitable for them to leave.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay, this is not a question, this is some advice for me.
Yeah.
So just for the technical points, I'd like to advise or add something. First, I think in the last part, when you say about your opinion,
Yeah.
I think it's better to add some other reasons because I agree with this man because I think yeah.
We think
Just, and then secondly, when in the previous pages, you make some very nice information or facts in the head of the presentation. So sometimes it's much better to use short expression.
Yeah.
So instead of writing the full sentence, you, for example, like text number,
some bullet
and then,
points.
you read a big and short phrases, and then you can add some sentence under that phrase. And yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, I might just not have caught what you said about it, but what do you think are the drawbacks to staying in the EU?
Yeah, its drawbacks is to have common agricultural policy as it tells it. That they spend 40% of all money on agriculture, but UK don't have a big market of agriculture, and they don't need to spend this money on agriculture.
And what do you think would happen if they, how would it go on if they would stay in the EU?
Yeah, I think that they will stay, but I think that they will make some changes. I mean, like Greece, that they will not leave, maybe, but they will make some conditions to make it better for them.
What about your opinions about the European Union? Because some of you are in the European Union, and some of you kind of see it from afar. What's your opinion? European Union?
For UK.
No, just generally. I mean, membership of the EU. Does it sound good or not so good? Because you're from Switzerland. What's your impression? Would you like Switzerland to join?
No.
And why not?
Because I think it's going to fall apart, the whole thing. I think it won't work out in the end because the countries are just too different and their economies are too different. And I think it will have to have a major change in some way to be successful in the long run.
What about kind of Brazilian or Korean or Taiwanese perspective? Does it sound like a club worth joining?
Three countries.
You have three different opinions?
Point of view of Brazil, Congo, or Belgium?
What's your Belgian opinion?
I think for Belgium, it's great to be inside the European Union because we can, like you said, we have tax-free, no quotas, so we can do business in every country inside of Europe. My point of view of Congo, I think Africa has to be the same as the European Union if they want to create more business and more industry inside Africa. Because it's a kind of example, there is 51% of import and export, and we have a lot of material resources, raw material resources in Africa, so if we can do the same, maybe we will be competitive. And point of view in Brazil, no opinion.
Okay, I think in economic aspects, it's inevitable to be a member of the European Union. As you saw that those pictures, the numbers of import and export is really huge number. But on the other hand, in cultural aspects, I think it's really a difficult problem because to keep or to maintain your or other countries' own identity is really important, but it's getting eroding by other cultures or other people. So it's really complicated.
Yeah, but I think it's good because at the same time the place is going to be more cosmopolitan.
Well, being cosmopolitan has two aspects: benefits and.
But the advantages for a country is they have more different culture inside the country. So it will be advantageous. And more strangers or more people want to go there to see
More money,
yeah, and more money, because there is a lot more information.
But I think the fact is, as you can see, for instance, in Germany, there are ghettos that are created because the people that come from the same country want to be among themselves. The German or in Switzerland we don't have this problem so much, but the Germans want to be among themselves as well. So you have a Turkish part, you have a German part, you have, and they just don't mix. I think the problem is that the influx is too large. There are too many people coming, and they won't adapt to the culture in the country anymore. And so they separate, and I think this is really huge problems in the long run. But as you said, there are different aspects: cultural, economical. So, yeah.
And speaking of economic, what about Switzerland? Have you any idea how much of your trade is with the European Union? Is it similar to Britain, like 50% maybe?
I think so.
At least.
I don't know the figures, but I would expect so, yeah.
But you don't feel that you're at a disadvantage because you're not inside the...
No, I don't think so. No. Well, I'm no economist. Maybe an economist would say no, that's catastrophic.
Switzerland is inside of trade market. It's inside of trade market, but it's not inside of political European Union. Any more questions, Alvin?
I think it's a little bit similar.
Like Taiwan and China.
Yeah.
It's like, do Taiwan really need to join the Republic of China? And what impact the first? What is the first impact if we join China, or who profits the most? Yeah. And as I know, it has lots of detail behind this, and I don't really know the EU and UK their relationship so far. So
Belgium.
I don't know.
Yeah, in Belgium we have the Flemish part.
Yes, the Flemish part and the French part.
And the Flemish part wants to be
Yes, independent.
Brazil, don't care.
No,
we don't have same thing like here, like Belgium needs to split or stay in this context. We are independent. We don't have
completely far
Yeah.
from this.
but we are in a bad situation now. Really high taxes, and we are not receiving a good things from the government. So it's a delicate situation.
We had a lot of problems 2 years ago for our economy, but this year our economy is going to improve a little bit because we have a lot of changes in this program, like the job rights. And I don't know. I think that if England is out of the European Union, it will be a big problem. I don't know if German or French will stay in if they go out.
Okay, thank you.
But we don't know about the England.
Yes.
The English. What about Michael? What about you? What would you vote for? If you vote to stay in or leave?
I think it would be too damaging to leave. Much as there are many things I dislike about the EU, I think it would be too risky to leave.
From an economic standpoint?
Yeah, from an economic standpoint.
And
I
what
think
do-
from a
what do you-
political standpoint, there's a lot about the EU that's pretty undemocratic.